list the problems that it solves. Okay, so let's start with the let's start with the problems that people face. You know, people in industries. So we have long hours doing calculations by hand. Imagine you need to calculate your pay as you earn. You actually look at your tax band and then you manually start calculating your pay as you earn. Or you missed your NAPSA and NHIMA deductions. Okay, you didn't incorporate them in your payroll because you are actually working on payroll manually. Or basically a manual payslip generation system. Imagine all that work. And then there is no clear audit trail. You can't really trace your audit trail. Okay, you can't trace your audit trail. And then you have a number of unhappy employees due to salary errors. Every single time, someone's net pay is different. It might be different by 5 kwacha, 50 kwacha, or 10 kwacha because we are working on our payroll manually. But imagine if you can use the same simple software that you use to make your grocery list to actually handle your entire payroll. It doesn't really matter if it's for 10 employees, 6 employees, 5 employees, or 100 employees. Okay. And the other problem that it can actually help you solve is the stress during tax season. You know that in your payroll, there's one particular tax that you account for, that which is pay as you earn. Okay, there's one particular tax that you account for, which is pay as you earn. So imagine this: if you can do all that on a payroll spreadsheet via Excel, and it just gives you the total pay as you earn amount that you submit to ZRA. So it will become very, very easy. You won't even need to calculate your pay as you earn because it's automatically calculated. Okay, meaning you won't have stress during tax season, especially for pay as you earn. Okay, so basically trying to do payroll, let me use this phrase, let me use a particular phrase. Trying to do payroll manually is like you are trying to milk a lion. Okay, trying to do payroll manually is like you're trying to milk a lion. It's very painful, a lot of hard work, and very unnecessary. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to run you through this particular spreadsheet, okay? And apart from running you through this spreadsheet, I'll be giving you a bit of some hints of what, or basically how it's made, what I did, and you know how it functions and how it protects you from errors. This particular spreadsheet actually just doesn't do your payroll, but also protects you from errors. Imagine being able, there are two things here: being able to create a spreadsheet that protects you from errors and having a spreadsheet that protects you from errors. There are two things: being able to create a spreadsheet that protects you from making mistakes, human errors, and also having that particular spreadsheet at your disposal, not for one day, not for 2 days or 2 weeks, but for a very long period of time. Okay, so what does this do? What does this do? Let's look at a number of things that it does. So right now, I've just opened employee data. It's about employee information, okay? Where you put your employee information, your employee IDs, the full names, and if you can check, it has a number of rows, so it's practically an entire list, and it doesn't really need to be updated every single month. This is basically your employee register. If you hire a new employee, you can put their information in here, which includes the position, the IDs, the gender, the date of birth, the employment type, their phone number, email address, NIMA number, NAPSA number, and any comment that you might have, the position and the department. It also includes the salary of that particular employee. It has got a lot of useful information that you might need even in the future. Okay? Let me tell you one thing. Since we have a payroll spreadsheet that actually accounts for NHIMA, it accounts for NAPSA as well, or any other pension that you might have. Okay, and then we have in another sheet details of the employees. Basically, we have the employees' details. We have the employees' NHIMA number and the employees' NAPSA number. So that actually makes everything easy for you. Are you getting my point? And
Yes.
if you were to get familiar with Excel, if you were to get familiar with Excel, you can actually find a way to incorporate the payroll spreadsheet with other relevant accounting spreadsheets. And you can even group sheets. And when you do that, it will be very easy for you to create even a single spreadsheet, just a simple spreadsheet, one good spreadsheet that you can use to manage your entire business. Madam Chair, do you agree with me that it's possible to use Excel to create a spreadsheet that you can use to manage your entire business needs when it comes to finances?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yes, it's very, very much possible. Okay. So let's talk about this. What does it do? Okay. So it's a fully automated payroll system. So I actually created this from scratch using Microsoft Excel. So it's not just a spreadsheet, but I can refer to it as a complete solution. Okay. We have a problem here. The problem is manual work, manual payroll, calculating our pay as you earn. Right now, you're only seeing this sheet. So you probably, when I say calculating the pay as you earn, calculating all these things, it's on a different sheet. Okay, so you actually see that. So what you're looking at is the sheet where it actually records employee information. It records all the employee data. So I'm going to do a simple demonstration of how it works. Okay, just based on the employee data, how we put the employee data. So I'll be making up figures. Okay, let's say for instance my employee ID, let's say we have a number of employees in our business, and then our ID number starts from 500. So it's 500, 501, 502, such things. So let's say the first one is 500. I'll put my 500 here. You've seen it. And then the second one is 501, and then 502. And then imagine I put 500 again. It's going to tell you that you have repeated something. So this will protect you from actually duplicating employee information in your system. Are you getting my point, Madam Sonda? It will actually aid
Yes,
you
yes, I
in
am.
duplicating employee information. So IDs are supposed to be unique. One particular ID is for one employee only. You can't have this particular employee with an ID that says 500, and then you have another employee whose ID is 500. And these IDs, I'm not talking about national numbers here. I'm not talking about national identity numbers. I'm talking about the employee's special ID as per the company. Okay? The full
Mm-hmm.
names is the same. I'll write my name here. I'll write my name here. Okay. I'll just type my name. It's easy. I'll type my name, and then here I'll write. I've said your name a couple of times, so it's in my head. And sorry. Okay. And then also, Mr. Knox, I'll write your name here as well. Okay. So I'm going to use these people, the three people, me, Madam Musonda, and Mr. Knox as examples. So imagine I make a mistake on the gender here, and then I press enter. It won't really allow you because, sorry, the gender entered is not in your configurations. Because for you to be able to enter information here, you need to enter information in your setup first. Okay? Firstly, you enter information in your setup. That's when it's going to work. You remember our data validation lesson, Madam Musonda?
Yes.
Perfect. That's what worked here. So we did data validation here. So I'll pick male here, and then I'll pick just come on. I'll pick female here, and then I'll pick male. You can even type it. It's not a problem if you type something that is recognized by the system. Okay. So we use data validation here, and the good part is that you can actually group these employees as you can filter them as pay. You can get the total number of male employees, the total number of female employees. It is protected to not to show, it is protected so that you actually don't make errors. But again, it allows you to filter. Okay, you can only, if you want, you can only see females, or you can only see males, or you can see both. Okay, or if you want, you can just select female and male to ensure that it only shows the two. Okay, not to have all these other blank columns at the bottom. Okay, if I want, I can remove my blanks here, and then I press OK. It will only give me these two. Okay, if I want, I
Mm-hmm.
can have everything. I can just click everything, and then it will give me everything. It will show me that there's enough space for everybody. If you have 70 employees, we have enough space for even 70 employees or 100 employees. We basically have enough space for everybody. Okay, and then the date of birth is just a date, simple thing. Let's say, for instance, just a random date. This is not my birthday, by the way. In case you think it's my real birthday, it's not. Okay, the date is correct, but the year is not. Just telling you because it's coming. So yeah, all right. And then let's I'll guess another one. Let's say 1985. Okay, and then Mr. Knox, random date as well. Let's say 1990. You are the youngest, Mr. Knox. Okay, and then the national ID number, we can say, okay. And then the national ID number, we can say, let's say 29, 27. These are also random numbers. Okay, so I'm putting the Livingston code because it's the one that I'm mostly familiar with. I'll say 27 again, 28, 71, 1 again. Okay, so the position is basically the same as the gender, okay? So the position you have to pick as well, okay? So let's say Ronald is the accountant, okay? And then Madam Chewe is the marketing manager, and then Mr. Knox is the managing director. You've seen it. So meaning I'll just, if I put anything that's not in there, it won't accept it. Let's say, for instance, I want to type something randomly and then I press enter. The system does not recognize this employee position. If it's a new position, kindly add it to the configurations and try again. Enjoy your payroll accounting. Okay. So
Okay.
it basically tells you it does the same exact thing with the departments as well. Okay. So the department we have to pick for accounts, it's accounts, managing the, we can say marketing, and then this not accounts. This is marketing department, and then managing director will have to pick management. Okay, I don't know. I'm picking the same thing. Just give me a second. Okay, right. Now let me pick for the managing director. So the managing director, we say management. Okay, the date hired, we just put in information here. It's also a date. Let's say a random date, 01/01, maybe 2024. And then here I'll say the January. Maybe we are all hired on the same date. I'll just put the same date, and then employment type, it does the same exact thing again with the position, and it also gives an error. So employment type, I might say permanent here, and I'll say permanent here for everyone. You can actually pick depending with your contract type, okay? And then the phone number is designed as per the country code. So this phone number here, I put a code in the system to only recognize Zambian numbers. So because I know most employees, because it's actually a Zambian payroll system, so it's only supposed to recognize Zambian numbers. Let me give you an example. Let me say 0975 89 96 85. It will give it the country code. You've seen it, to show that it's actually a Zambian number. So I can say 077 236 4325. You don't really need to put the code. You don't really need to put the code. It will put the code on its own. So this is custom sort as pay the country. Okay. So I did custom sort. I was formatting, like formatting, you know, when you format that Control+1, and then you go on custom, and then you put the phone number format. And then you have to pick the format as per the country. So I was specific here, I said Zambia. That's the main reason why it's only giving you +260 as the code. The email address is also recognized as an email. Let's say Kashweka Ronald31@gmail.com. Okay, so it's recognized as an email, so it will be a link, meaning if you were to click it, it will take you to Outlook or basically any other email provider, and it will open up an email for you to actually send an email. Okay, so we'll do the same with the other ones. I'll say 52. I'm just guessing. Okay, I will do the same with all the details. Okay, the physical address, I'll just say Livingston, Lusaka. Okay, and then the salary, it won't really allow you to put anything because this is protected. So where it gets the salary from is from the payroll. Okay, so what the information you have here is the information that you're paying your employees. It seems too much, but it's a once-off thing. It's not something that you'll be doing over and over again. It's just information that you need for your employees. You need NAPSA numbers as well. Okay, so I'll just put the NAPSA numbers randomly. These are not real NAPSA numbers. I'm just making up these numbers. I just want to show you how this works. Okay, and then here I'll put the NAPSA numbers as well. I don't know why I like plus. Okay, the NHIMA number as well, it's also a made up number. I'll do the same exact thing. It's a made up number. And then this also made up. And then also the banking details. We'll have the bank name. Let's say I do we do FNB, ABSA, and we do FNB. Not here. Okay, this was supposed to be here. FNB. And then here I'll put ABSA. Okay, and then the bank account number, this is also made up. This is also made up, and then this is also made up. Okay, the bank account number. Then the notes, you decide what you want to put there. Basically if you have a comment pertaining to the employee. Okay, if you basically want to say anything about the employee, that's that column. That column is just for notes. Okay, all right, perfect. So if you have the information here, this is the first thing that you do when an employee joins your business. You add the information here, and because you'll be making a copy every single time, you'll be having this information every single time. Okay, it's not something that you need to do day in, day out. It's something that you only need to do once, unless there's a change of the phone number, or a change of any detail pertaining to that particular employee. Okay, all right. So now let's go to the payroll data, a weird format, right? Yeah, I know.
Yep.
So it looks as though it's a weird format. Yeah, you might think it's a weird format because this particular format was designed for 100 employees. So it's just a list.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. So it looks like this because it's for 100 employees. So all you need to do is, imagine this. Let me show you how this works. It looks like this because it's for 100 employees. So all you need to do is, imagine this. Let me show you. It does not recognize it allows you to add to the payroll employees. Hello.
Yes, we are
Okay, you're
following
back
Mr.
now.
Ronald.
Sorry. Again.
Okay. Okay. All right. It only allows you to add employees to the payroll who you have in your system. So it will give me a list as well. Our data validation works, Madam Son, the data validation is a very important tool. Okay. Excel is a very
Yes,
important
sir.
tool, and knowing how to use Excel is a very, very important tool as well. So it will give you a list, okay? It will give you a list, basically like let me just show you that list. Just give me 1 minute. Let's see. Okay, so our list is 500, 501, and 502. Basically, information that we have in our employee data. That's the only thing it recognizes. It only recognizes the information that we have in our employee data. So I'll put 500 here because the 500 is for Ronald. And then here, the employees again are the only ones in the employee data. You don't really need to type it. You have it already. And then the basic salary is as per the contract. Every single time you hire a new employee, you have a contract, okay? So we base this information as per the contract. So let's say the basic salary in the contract is 20,000. I'll put my 20,000 here, and then it will automatically calculate the housing allowance as per your business policy. Your business policy is on top. Housing allowance rate as per company policy is 30%. If I were to change this to 25, it will change the housing allowance here. So I'll leave it at 30%. And then pension fund rate as per company policy is 5%. It automatically calculates your pension as well. So you have your housing allowance. If you need to put a bonus, you just add it. Leave allowance, you just add it. Taxable pay, this is the amount of money that is supposed to be taxed, and it will calculate your pay as you earn as well. Pay as you earn, total medical leave, which is NHIMA, your pension, and your NAPSA. It will basically account for everything up to your net pay. Have you seen it, Madam Musonda?
Yes, I
Just a
have.
list, and you can do this for 100 employees. You can do this for 100. Let me add the next one as well. So the next one is 501. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
the 501 is
I'm sorry.
Madam Musonda. And then let's say Madam, she gets more than me. Let's say it's 30,000. So I'll put 30,000. It will do the same. It will automatically calculate everything. So basically, all the formulas are linked to all the 100 roles
Okay.
because this was designed for 100 employees. I've deliberately left out someone here. I know. I want to show you something. If we want to check, if we want a summary, because you just want to know, it's like, okay, who am I paying? What's the net? Sometimes you just want something easy. You can go to the payroll report. When you go to the payroll report, you see we only have two people here, right? Employee ID, and then total deductions, net pay, and the pay date. You've seen it, right?
Yes.
And giving you the
Mm-hmm.
total in a printable format. Have you seen how Mr. Knox is not here?
Yes.
Okay, let me go to the payroll data again. So Mr. Knox is 502, and then I add Mr. Knox. I pick Mr. Knox, and then I say Mr. Knox is getting 50,000. Okay, now let's go to our payroll report. It has Mr. Knox now. So it's just invisible here. We just made all the formulas invisible. They just add them when the information is there. For as long as okay, how can I put it? For as long as it's not, the information is not in the payroll data, it will not be recognized on the payroll report. And you're probably seeing the shortcuts this side, and you might be thinking, okay, what if I need to print this to show my boss? I need to show my boss the information pertaining to employees, how much we are paying them. If you were to print this, let me show you how it will look like. Forgive my computers being a bit slow. Let me just show you how it will look like. Just 1 minute, it's opening up, it's accessing the printer, although I don't really need to print this, I just wanted you to see it. It will probably open up. Okay, have you seen how it looks like? So if you print it, it will look like this. If you print it, it will
Okay.
look like this. So it will just be a simple report. You just print it. It's more like a report that you get from Pastel. Simple. Business name. You might even put your logo here. Business name, logo, name of reports, and the information that you need. Okay. And then I was also thinking of adding information for the company. That's the total payroll cost for the company. Okay, how much money the company actually makes, because when we talk about deductions here, these are employee expenses, but we also have company expenses. Like for instance, NAPSA, the company also pays for NAPSA. Pension, the company might also pay for pension. NHIMA, the company also might pay for NHIMA. Okay, depending,
Mm-hmm.
not really depending on the arrangement. It's basically mandatory. So we also need to know all this information. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So now that we've seen our employee data, we've seen our payroll data, now let's go to the payslips. How do we make payslips? Okay, we are looking at a payslip here. It looks weird, right? Non-applicable, non-applicable. But check out this. The if you were to put the employee number here, let's say I put 500, it will give me the payslip for Ronald Kashweka. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
If I were to put
Mm-hmm.
501 here, it will give me the payslip for Musonda Chewe. And if I were to put 502 here, it will give me the payslip for Mr. Knox. So basically, it will pick the payslip for that particular employee. All you have to do, you just have to type in the employee ID number. And if you type in a wrong employee ID number, it won't really pick it because it only recognizes the employee ID numbers that you have in your employee data. So basically, what it does is that when you get the number, it will get all the information. Okay, so when I put the number here, it will get this line. It will recognize this and get this entire line and bring it here as a payslip in a payslip format. Isn't that interesting, Madam Musa?
Yes, it is.
Quite
But
interesting.
what does it look like when you want bulk payslips?
Okay, what? Okay, all right. Firstly, I just want to show you something. Just 1 minute. Let me just try to print this. so that you see how it will look like when you want
Okay.
to print one first. Yeah, before we go to the bulk. Okay, so it will look like this. It won't really show the other lines or the other buttons. It will just look like this. And you can always edit it to your, size. If you want it to be smaller, you can. If you want it to be bigger, although I assume you probably want it to be a bit smaller. So you can, you just have to
Mm-hmm.
reduce the size a bit and it will only look like this. It won't really show the date. We can amend it. We can format it to just show the month, but
Mm-hmm.
it won't really pick the other information on the sheet. It will only recognize when you want to print, it will only pick the payslip,
The
just the payslip
payslip.
on its own for a single
Ah,
employee.
okay.
Yes, because have you noticed how we have a number of lines here, single employee payslips, a number of info. We have a number of things here, but it's not even these lines. It's not recognizing these lines. It's only looking at this because we changed the print area. Okay, the print area is specific for the payslip. Anything else is not in the print area. So if you were to change the print area to recognize all this again, it will recognize this when you want to print it to show the single employee payslip and it show the bulk payslips button. Okay, but for now, not really for now. Currently, the way it is that it only recognizes just the payslip. Okay, and then now, Madam Musonda, I think this is actually your favorite part. You want to see how the bulk payslips look like, all right? Hello. You want to see how the bulk payslips look like. Hello, is everyone still there? Just want to make
Yeah,
sure everyone
right.
is getting me clearly. Okay, so let's go to the payslips. Oh, there are a number of things here. It's because all these are blank.
Yes.
Let me just delete everything. It wasn't really supposed to be here. Okay, so have you seen this payslips? Oh, it's blank, right? I've deleted everything. You've seen? Let me even
Yes.
save it. Okay, so I've deleted everything, and this payslips all is blank. Okay, so now let's see how we can generate payslips for 100 employees. Okay, so you go to the same sheet that gives you one payslip. So on the single employee payslip, you just put the number and it will give you a payslip for a single employee. But if you want bulk payslips, you double click this button. Okay, you double
Okay.
click this button, left click, so just double. So this Excel, the way it is that it has got a countdown, and when it's doing a countdown, it's more like does a bit of some more like vibrations or something like that. I don't know how you can call it, but you actually notice it when it's creating the pay slips. And when it's creating the pay slips, it will do for all the rows in the payroll data. So because it's doing for all the rows in the payroll data, it will do a maximum of 100.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it won't only just pick three, but it will pick everything there for
Mm-hmm.
100 employees. Okay, because it's designed, when you say bulk pay slips, it's designed for 100
Everything.
employees. Okay, if you have 10, yeah, if you have 10 employees, we might change it depending with your business. We might make it, a little bit more uniform, okay, or bespoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so let me click it. Don't worry, I'm still here. It's not the network. You probably think it might be the network, but it will be doing a bit of some vibration. Let me just show you. So, okay, I've clicked it. So now it's loading. Have you seen what it's doing? So it's recognizing these single employee payslips. And then now it has become non-applicable because it's picking the details for the rows that we didn't put any information in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main reason why it's showing non-applicable, because at the bottom, we didn't put information, so there is no any payslip. That's why it's not applicable. The payslip is blank. So when a payslip is blank, it looks like this. But when a payslip has information, it will look like the payslip that I generated at first. So it will do this for probably, I don't know how many, maybe a minute. Have you ever seen Excel misbehave like this?
No.
So it's doing this for 100 employees. Just imagine 100 employees, and you just have to click a button, and then you sit and wait, and then you watch Excel misbehave. Yes, and then when so just give it a minute to be done. When it's done, it's going to tell us. There's also an see payslip generated in payslips or sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so it's saying payslips generated in payslips or sheet. So what next? It has told us where the payslips are, so we have to just say okay, and then there is a welcome message, RK Solutions Payroll System. Please ensure all employee data is accurate before proceeding. For support, that's my email address. You can always send me an email, and I'm more than happy to help. Okay. So now, what does this mean? So here it's looking like this because there's total here instead of because there's total here instead of actually having a number. So I might even change it to 500, and then when I change it to 500, it will have the pay slip for Ronald. If I change it to 501, it will have the pay slip for Madam Musonda, and if I change it to 502, it will have the pay slip for Mr. Knox. That doesn't really
No.
change after we do the bulk pay slips. And then when we go to the pay slips or sheet where it actually directed us, see we'll have things like this. See, because these are blank pay slips. But when we go on top, we have pay slips with actual figures. Have you seen the pay slips? It's actually
Mm-hmm.
getting it's actually getting this format. So it's getting this particular format. The only difference is that you won't really find the lines there. Okay, like for instance, these lines for the format, but it's picking the arrangement of everything the way it is up to the bottom. See, let's say for instance, Ronald
Mm-hmm.
Kashweka. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You've seen it. Yeah, so it will do this
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. The first three, there's details, and then the others, there is no information. That's the reason why it's blank. But otherwise, it did this for 100 employees. In how many seconds, Madam Musonda?
Sorry?
In how many? Okay. Just estimate how long it took for it to create those payslips in all payslips.
About a minute.
Yes, about a minute, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
picked the information that is there and it picked everything else. So if I want, I can just clear everything. Let me just show you. I can just clear everything. I've cleared all the information here. We no longer have any detail. So basically, this all payslip sheet will always be blank. The only purpose it serves is to house all the payslips when we click the bulk payslips button. And it can also
Oh.
be amended as per your number of employees.
Okay.
The only
Also,
reason
like
why I put
you
this
can
sheet
put a
here
range
is so
like
that
500
it,
to 502.
yes. Okay, let me show you
Okay.
something. Here, it's not picking from one, it's picking from 8.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it. It's because
Yes.
I put 8 in the formula. And it's not really a formula, it's a code. Let me show you the code. Um, I'll have to I'll have to I'll have to unprotect this. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. I don't think it will allow me to show you the code unless I unprotect it. Let me unprotect it. Let me just unprotect it so that I show you the code. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me just unprotect everything. Well, let me see if it's going to work. Let me just try it from here. Um, let's see. Okay, so it didn't really work because the other sheets are protected. Let me just unprotect everything and then I show you the code so that you actually see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Delete this sheet. Yes, you can. All right. I believe this is unprotected. How about this one? It's unprotected. And just type the password. Okay, so now it's no longer protected. So it's not very safe to just click anywhere because if you click anywhere, you might mess up a formula.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and this wasn't protected because I just needed space so as to have my pay slips. And then this is also supposed to be protected. Okay, let me see if it's now going to work. Just give me 1 second. Uh, I I do not want a sheet. Okay, let me just show you something. Okay, so I assigned a macro. Uh, okay, so if you want this to work, let me just show you something. You also need to know how to add buttons, because that's how I added this button. Conditional formatting. I used conditional formatting, index, lookup, adding buttons. So I added a developer tab, and then data validation, and I also did macros. Okay, that's I would say that's most of the things that I actually did in there. Just 1 minute, 1 minute. And also, this particular Excel sheet is not a normal Excel sheet. It's a macro enabled Excel sheet. It's macro enabled. That's the only reason why all this can work. If it wasn't macro enabled, then it would not work. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right. So the stress center settings. So if you have a normal Excel sheet and you try to add a button there, and then you design a macro, and then you are like, okay, let me add this macro, it will not work. Do you know the reason why? It's because that's a normal Excel spreadsheet. This is a macro enabled. It's more like an advanced in Excel spreadsheet. That's the main reason why it works. Okay, so we go to macro settings, and then we enable Excel 4.0 macros when VBN macros are enabled. Okay, and then we did a bit of some VBN project to actually, so I enabled all this to ensure that everything actually works.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let's see. I want to try to go into work because I actually protected this a lot. Let's see. Oh, it's basically just adding some other macros. Okay. That'll just a second. Just move this. Okay. Let me just show you something. Sign macro. So, and then let's see. We try to edit. Yes, it needs to open the VBN project. Okay, so one that I was trying to open with a shortcut, it's Control plus F11. Okay, so it's Control plus F11 is supposed to open the VBN project. So this is why Excel is doing that. It's because of this. These are the instructions I was giving Excel. So generate all payslips. It's an instruction that I gave Excel. You can give Excel any type of instruction. Show welcome message.
Is
I
there a
created
pop-up
these
menu?
workbooks, and also I created a module. Yes, there is.
We can't
Did you
see
see the
it.
one for the welcome message?
No.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what's happening to Excel. But I've opened the VBN project where I was actually putting the codes. Let's see. Let me see if I can take a screenshot. And then I will okay, I'll just take a screenshot later. Okay, yeah, so there is I've actually opened something. So what I've done is I had opened the instructions that are giving this bulk payslip button its function. Okay,
Okay.
so you see when I click it, it was just a normal button. When you click it, doesn't do anything. So I assigned a macro to it, a macro that I created, a macro that says open all payslips.
Okay.
And then when you open all the payslips, you take all the payslips to a particular sheet. Let me see if I can just copy it so that you see the way it looks like.
Okay.
So I won't really, since you can't see it, I'll just copy it and then paste it on. Let's see, copy, and then I'll paste it on just here. Okay, let me paste it at the bottom here. You see how it looks like. This is the code that I put in the system.
Whoa.
Clear, clear previous payslips, output cells, start from this, and then see from row number 8 to the last row. Get the employee ID,
Oh, okay.
set the employee ID in the payslip sheet, force Excel to recalculate the entire workbook to update formulas. Application optional, add a small delay to allow Excel to finish recalculating. Application wait. So it's now plus time value, which is 0, which is actually like, let me say like a millisecond or something. That's the time that I put out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this, yes. So this is the code, and this is just one code, the number of codes that are actually in this particular spreadsheet. So this is a code I put in my macro worksheet. And then I assigned that macro to this button. So when I click this button, it follows this code exactly. It does exactly this. So what you see when you are seeing it beeping, or you are seeing it slow, or you are seeing something happening, that's
Mm-hmm.
um, that's Excel following this code, doing exactly what this code is asking it to do.
All you need to do is give the
All right.
instruction.
And then the problem, yes, now the problem is how to give the instruction, because macro is it's a bit of advanced Excel, so it's a bit complicated. Uh, you might find, how you remember when we were looking at the if functions, where the sum if, you find when you do something it won't work just because you left out a comma or an apostrophe. You
Yes.
remember, Madam Sonda?
Yes.
Yes, it's the same with macro. So you have to ensure you are familiar with how to do it. And if you're familiar, then you can give Excel any instruction, and it will basically follow that particular instruction to the max.
Makes sense.
Okay, all right. So it also has configurations. Configurations, we can even make them more detailed. I just made it simple. By the way, this is a draft spreadsheet, a draft payroll spreadsheet that we can use to ensure that we actually account for all payroll information that we need. So it has employee database, payroll processing. It does taxes, NAPSA, and NHIMA automation. Payslip generator for you can generate a number of payslip by one click, both individual and also bulk payslip. Okay, it has got protected formulas. It's user-friendly interface. You don't need to understand formulas. The formulas are actually even hidden and protected, so you won't even need to see them. You only focus on results and not really Excel errors. So what are the benefits? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you were to use something like this, meaning you save money, you won't need any extra money for any HR stuff. Okay,
Okay.
it also
Mm-hmm.
prevents tax penalties on pay as you earn. Okay, it will also
Mm-hmm.
boost employee trust in that every single time you pay someone, their money is always accurate. Okay, I don't know about the others, but for me, I don't think I can be happy if someone is always making errors on my pay.
Yeah.
For accountants, it speeds up monthly reports. It will help you with your monthly reports, and also it helps with audit trails for transparency. And this is protected, so meaning you won't really be making errors right now because it's unprotected. You might think, okay, I might just edit that managing director, it's very easy. I might just change that department, I might change this. It's not if it's protected, because the system won't really allow you to do anything unless in those particular individual cells that you can edit. Okay.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then it will basically position you as a modern professional. Imagine if you can manage to create something like this. Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
Yes. Okay, so it's and also the other thing that I'd like to talk about. Okay, the other thing that I'd like to talk about, having Excel skills in 2025 is a must. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
having Excel skills in um, in 2025 is a must because Excel is still the most used tool in accounting and business. Okay, do you know that over 750 million people use it, but only a few can master it? So if you can build a system like this one, then you can
I'd be
access to your
marketable.
business. Okay, and then your skills then turn into cash.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Okay, so it's very much necessary. Okay, it's very much necessary for you to learn this skill and for you to use such spreadsheets. Otherwise, you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. You need more time fixing errors than running your business. Okay, you have no
Mm-hmm.
record keeping, more stress during audit, and you have no
Yeah.
confidence when asked about taxes or basically employee deduction. So this system doesn't really just save time, it actually saves your reputation as well. Hello, did you hear my point? This
Yes.
system doesn't
Yes.
just save time, it saves your reputation because it protects you, it guides you, it acts as a shield, protects you from errors. Okay, and then let me just say one more thing before we close because it's almost time before we close. The best investment you can make, the best investment you can make is in tools that work for you.
Mm-hmm.
That no one can take away from you. The best investment you can make is in tools that work for you and also skills that no one can take away from you. Otherwise, thank you very much. This is our presentation and this is our payroll system. Do you have any questions? Would you like to say anything?
When do we learn about the macro?
A query, an add-on?
When do we learn about the macro?
When do we learn about the macro? Okay, macro isn't really, it's just now that I'm incorporating it with accounting because I'm making advanced accounting spreadsheets. But otherwise, when it comes to you just knowing Excel and if you want to use the basics and accounting, it's not really a part of it because it's more like advanced. It's not really in the plan, it's not really in the schedule. But if you'd like me to add it, just like we added our cash flow budgets, remember the cash flow budgets that we are looking at? Just like we added
Mm-hmm.
our cash flow budgets, the initial schedule, we can, with your permission, you're my bosses.
Okay.
I like that one.
Okay, but it's a bit advanced, eh? Advanced Excel, and you need to change your Excel. Don't worry, I'll run you through everything, how to do it, and how to enable macro in your Excel, how to save your Excel to make sure that it works. Otherwise, if you do it, you can learn how to do it, but if you do it in a normal Excel, it won't work. If you do it in normal Excel, when you want to click a button, it won't work. It won't do its function. It will just be more
Okay.
like a little decoration there. Yes, unless you enable the Excel. And most Excels, I would say every Excel is macro disabled. They say they are protecting you because that's a bit too advanced. But if you know how to use it, then we are good. We won't make any unnecessary errors. Okay.
I promise you, I was going to try this on ordinary Excel tonight.
Okay. And it wouldn't have worked
Yep.
because yeah, you need a macro enabled you need a macro enabled spreadsheet for it to work. Okay, so this is our spreadsheet. And apart from this one, we also have a bookkeeping spreadsheet, and this is a payroll spreadsheet. We'll be working on a cash flow system with Madam Musonda. And very soon,
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make a massive spreadsheet, like a spreadsheet that's going to show you the magic of possible. And definitely, I'm going to do it. Okay. All right. But for the payroll spreadsheet, this is it.
Thank you, Mr. Kashaka.
All right. Thank you. Otherwise, if there are no any queries, we are going to end right here. I would like to say thank you to everybody who made some time to join us. And those who don't know my name is Ronald Kashweka. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.